Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Everything is energy, and boundaries play a really important role in protecting that energy. You can't be really a sovereign being, an empowered person, if you have not mastered boundaries. You can also say that boundaries provide a sense of healthy ego, where you are respecting yourself as an individual, where you are not sacrificing yourself at the expense of impressing others or doing what they want you to do. So that is why the people who have a huge problem of people pleasing, they are unable to say no. They have a hard time setting boundaries. I used to have friends who did not even ask me before making any plans. I was automatically involved in that. It's like their plan is the only plan. I can't have my own things. I can't say no. And even if I even think about saying no, there is a guilt that maybe I'm doing something wrong. The reason is because while we are growing up, we were never given a choice that what do you want to do. Most of the stuff was imposed on us. Like you don't have a say, and boundary is a say. Like I want this and I'm not settling for less. This is what I deserve. You have a say in your own life, like what I want to indulge in, because every moment you are interacting with energy, whether it's a person, a thing, a circumstance, a situation, an opportunity, whatever you want to call it. So every time you are interacting with something, you are interacting with an energy. And I feel there is a simple basic law of energy, that energy moves in circle. So if you are interacting with someone, you are not just gonna give them your energy, you're also gonna receive their energy. It can be their programs, it can be their conditioning, it can be the shame, the guilt that they are carrying. Maybe they will project that on you if you say no to them. And then you are in turn absorbing all that. So you have to be really aware with whom you are hanging out, whom you are saying yes, with what experiences you are surrounding yourself with, what's the energy like. Because you deserve to be treated in the best way, you deserve to honor yourself. You deserve to live a life of empowerment because you are a sovereign being. But when we don't have any boundaries, our life does not have the quality of empowerment. We become a victim. We are at the mercy of other people. We end up doing what everyone else around us wants us to do. So that is why you have to realize the value of boundaries, and don't confuse boundaries with walls. Boundaries simply mean like you define what you want, when you want, how you want. Like you are really crystal clear about the experience. It's not like you are saying that I don't want to experience at all, especially when it comes to relationships. When it is in the family, it is the parents, it is the relatives. You have to have boundaries. For example, if there is a person who has experienced immense amount of trauma with their family, you can't make a blanket statement that it's family, I can do anything, and you are supposed to forgive and forget and stuff like that. For that person who has gone through that trauma, that is gaslighting. So everyone's journey is different. For some people, their relationship with their parents is different. For some other people, it's not. It's the worst thing they have experienced in their life, and it's okay to acknowledge that. So a lot of people who practice fake positivity, they believe in forgive and forget. But what if the person you are forgiving, they never apologized, they never took any accountability for their actions, and worse than that, they are still doing the same thing. If you meet with them, they are still the same person, they abuse you. So what are you doing? You are not setting a boundary. You are again and again suffering because you are sacrificing yourself. So don't buy into this fake positivity. Just because you are in the space of love and light, you are forgiving everyone, doesn't mean that the other person is realizing their mistake, that they are taking any accountability for their actions. We don't live in a absolutely conscious world where people call you and say to you, like, I apologize for everything that I have done wrong with you, whether it's your parents, family members. Rarely that happens because we live in an unconscious world, and there is nothing wrong in facing this truth. What's wrong is making other people feel like there is something wrong with them if they are setting boundaries with their family, with their friends. Like there is a blanket statement that You are supposed to be there for them. It's family at the end of the day. No. Stop gaslighting yourself. You deserve better. How can you become a sovereign being, an empowered person, if you don't put yourself first? If you don't see that you have been abused, that you have been traumatized, you have to set boundary with such people. And especially if they are continuously doing that, they are not stopping. They don't have any boundaries. They just go all the way in. It's your responsibility to protect your energy. No one else will do it for you. You are responsible for your energy. Own your energy, honor your energy, and love yourself enough to set those boundaries. You have to stand up for yourself right now. Don't wait for future, tomorrow, when things will be right, when I will be ready. It's always this moment. This is why it's really important to not let your past bleed into your present. And I feel it's very important when you are constantly outgrowing your past, you're evolving as a person, you're becoming more empowered, more sovereign. It's important that you have boundaries with your past, with the people of your past, with the entire energy of the past, and especially your own past self. A lot of times we know exactly what we need to stop doing. We know our own toxic cycles. We know our own toxic loops. It can be around relationships, friends, certain situations. We know like this is a portal that can invite things from the past into my life again. But we still end up doing that particular thing because we don't have boundaries with our past. And especially this happens when you are moving forward from a relationship, from a past friendship. The thing is that an aspect of us, you can call that ego as well, it will always want to run back to experience that again. It wants that. It wants to experience that. It will find loopholes. It will find something to again go back there, talk to them to make it work or something like that. And you have to be willing to stop that cycle. That's where boundaries come into the play. Like it is a form of self-boundary, that you honor yourself so much that you will not open portals to your past reality, that you will not enter into the places that help the past to come into the present, because life is in the present. And if you want to fulfill the vision of your future self, if you want to invest in your future self, you can't do that by just running in circles, by allowing the past to enter the present constantly. Because a lot of people, they spend years in those loops. They just run in circles. So you have to be willing to stop the cycle by choosing yourself. And when you say no to others, you are saying yes to yourself. That is the power of having a boundary. When you say no to the experiences, to the people, to the things that bring you back to the past, when you say no to them, you are saying yes to yourself, yes to your highest version, yes to your future self. You're saying yes to your empowered version. So it's all a choice. Like, what are you choosing in this moment? That's what you're gonna become in the future. If you're gonna choose the past, you will run in circles. So why is it that even after knowing that this thing is gonna start a loop, I'm gonna be stuck there, this is gonna take me to the past, the reason is that we never look at the core of that thing, which is we never want to be vulnerable, especially when it is about the relationship. When we are feeling overwhelmed, we want to reach out to that person, to that ex, we are unable to let go of them. The reason is because you are not allowing yourself to be in that vulnerable space and maybe connect to the wounded part of you, the part of you that wants to reach out. Maybe it is your inner child, the wounded child within you that felt abandoned in the childhood. Maybe you need to love yourself instead of putting that person, that ex, on a pedestal. You need to put your inner child on a pedestal. You need to love that part of yourself instead of thinking like it is broke. Just think about it. If we perceive healing in this way, instead of trying to fix ourselves, we just perceive it like we are trying to love ourselves even more. But the problem is that we want everything to be fixed, but we never allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We never allow ourselves to connect to those parts of us that are feeling abandoned, that don't feel safe. So when you say yes to yourself, you allow yourself to heal. You allow yourself to become more empowered. You allow yourself to attract much better experiences. But that will only happen when you are able to set aside the ego. The ego wants the past because that's what it knows. It doesn't want the unknown. It doesn't want the future self. It's all in the uncertainty. It's all in the future. It can't hold that. It can't grasp that. That's why having boundaries with yourself, like what I will do and won't do, it's in my control. This is your free will. Whatever experiencing you're participating into it with your free will. You're choosing that experience. You have a choice. So understand yourself. If you know that you will go and do something and that thing will open the portal to your past reality, don't do it. Who's telling you to do it? Become more self-aware. Allow yourself to become vulnerable. Connect to yourself. Don't be in a rush. You can't stop and come out of this cycle in a snap. You need self-boundaries, boundaries with yourself also. When you are outgrowing the past, everything from the past, it will try to come back to you again also, because you are becoming more and more magnetic. The more you let go, the more magnetic you become. So you're outgrowing the past continuously. And from that dimension, from the past, everything that you resonated with, you are now looking empowered, sovereign. So they are attracted to you. But you have to hold your vision. You have to have boundaries. Otherwise, it's very easy to get sucked right back into it. And when you will choose yourself, everyone that benefited from your lack of self-love, they will be pissed off. They will make you feel like a bad guy. You don't have to worry about that. You have to realize that every person in your life has a role, and they have given you a role in their life. For example, if you are a person who never stands up for themselves, they have given you a role. You will never say anything. They can walk all over you. But if you come out of that role, if you do something that is really different from the role that they have assigned you, they will not like that, because you are making them question their ego. You are stepping out of the box that they have put you into. So that's not gonna be comfortable for them. So similarly, the roles that you assign others in your life, you are the master of that. So if you become perfectly okay with the fact that no matter how much of a good person you are, you can't be at good terms with everyone. That's just the truth. In someone else's story, you are a bad person. Everyone is like a role, every person in other people's life. And especially when you live a life of an empowered person, of a sovereign being, you piss off everyone. Because your mere existence is the proof. Your light is the proof that you are empowered, and it's reflecting their disempowerment. Your light reflects back their shadow, and they don't want to look at it, and they will project it on you. And you have to realize that this person, I don't have to seek their validation. It's just a role. They have given me a role in their story, and it's time I give them a role in my story, which is that I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna be my highest version. And whatever you think, it doesn't matter. Because this is my life, this is my story. I decide how it goes. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment, share. You can also support my work by hitting the thanks button. And please make sure to subscribe. Much love to you all.